Hi everyone, how's it going?
Hi,
Good.
how are
How are
you?
Very
you?
well,
I'm
very
good.
well.
I'm awesome. So right now I'm here. So first of all, my name's Costa. I'm covering the film for KeithLovesMovies.com. I had the pleasure of seeing the movie at Fantasia last year as a fellow Montrealer.
Oh,
Fantasia is known for having one of the rowdiest audiences in the world. Just this
Really? Are they?
Yeah. So I just a quick question for everyone on the table here. So like with your over a year since, so how do you look back at your visit at the festival with the film's reaction over there?
I loved it.
Yeah, I had a great
it was
time.
so
It was
special.
such a great
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
My first time in Canada, actually.
Oh really?
I loved it.
Wow.
Yeah, she used to call it Canada, and then she was like,
No,
"Oh,
I didn't.
In a way. I know this sounds cliche, but it was really a dream come true. I mean, I've been wanting to have a film at Fantasia, but with being a documentary filmmaker, most of the time that doesn't
that's a
really.
difficult thing
Those,
to do."
that's a difficult one, but
Yeah.
I think we found it, and it just the audiences are the best, and the best conversations afterwards. I mean, I think it's really what I think any artist that's making part of filmmaking it's exactly the interaction that you want to have. It's a film lover's dream.
Yeah. So obviously this is your first stab into a narrative feature. With all of your documentary experiences, Oscar nominated documentarian experiences. But you still use these documentarian experiences to showcase this important story that these characters are trying to expose. So I was wondering if you could speak to some of those stylistic choices you make using some of those documentary aspects to tell this found footage horror story.
Absolutely. I mean, I think for our guiding star, our North Star throughout the process was just trying to make it grounded and as real as possible. To really shine a light on a humanity that is being so often ignored and so ignored so violently so long. And I think for us having that sort of North Star was really helpful. And that kind of permeated through the process. And I started off as a documentary editor, so I've seen hundreds of hours of raw footage of documentaries and weaving that. And I think, one of the things that in order to make this so visceral and so grounded and connected, I sometimes there are the moments that are easily discarded that for this time around I didn't want to discard. I wanted to
Mm.
it kind of that kind of embodies again the humanity that we're not seeing that we're discarding, quote unquote. And I wanted to put that like right in the center. So maybe it's the throwaway line that, as they're filming B-roll that is said, or maybe it's the zooming in portion, that you see how someone is uncomfortable, like when Emily goes to interview Sam, and they had a very strained relationship. So I wanted to imbue those moments that we kind of throw away with a humanity that we disregard so often, and that's what it's all about. I love those little moments that we get glimpses into people's souls. I think they're so special, and and in order to make that happen, I wanted to collaborate with people that would, just dive in and be open to, being a part of the environment. And I think I keep pinching myself with this, with Brittany and EJ and with Alana, with Krisha, that we're just so open and just brought so much to this. So yeah, it was, and working with Camel. The other thing is creating the language, right? The film, the perspective is mostly through the eyes of Danny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the beautiful ballet that happened with EJ and Camo, our cinematographer, creating a single character that is the cinematography of Danny.
Yeah, because like one of the neat things I noticed when I was watching the movie is how sort of uh way different it is from a regular found footage horror, and like you really feel like Danny is like a professional cinematographer. The way he moves the camera around, changes perspectives, it felt very much like an authentic documentary, which I thought I really appreciated from the film. 'Cause you talked about putting in those subtle moments throughout the movie. So obviously, it is supposed to be a horror movie, but it's very smartly restrained in using some of those horror elements, and to focus more on this mysterious, unsettling story, while you still provide towards the end those surprising twists and turns. Like I still remember the reactions of everyone in the theater, kind of like, "Ooh, whoa!" Like when that happened. So, what was your creative process behind like knowing what to show, when to showcase it, and like to what extent did you want to unravel it throughout the film?
Well, hopefully, the film spurs for a second viewing, and there's a lot of Easter eggs throughout the film that if with knowing what the twist is and everything, going back and watching it again, I think that will shed new light, and hopefully that will make people also look at the world and the deeper themes beneath the surface that are in the film. But that was definitely an intention to always trying to put underneath the surface. Maybe it's a place that is a little hidden, or maybe certain elements that you don't think about, like eating a cracker or whatever. That on the second viewing has more meaning, right? And so I think for us it was really adding layers to the world that unfolds and to the life that unfolds before our eyes.
It's such a testament to you, Pedro, and the team as a filmmaking team, all of us, but you guys especially, when you make something that warrants a second watch, and then it's a different film when you watch it again.
Yeah.
Like we made multiple films in one go. And it's a beautiful big deal to me, especially with all the work that Brittany put in to layer all of her backstory with the present moment. She's playing so many characters all at once. No one better sleep on Brittany O'Grady. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah.
You can
And like
sleep
even
if you do. I'm supportive of sleep.
even when I watched it back a second time, preparing for this interview, like I did like start to see piece the Easter eggs throughout the story based on the info that I knew was going to happen next. So it did feel like a really good second like viewing experience.
Yeah.
I wanted to turn to you, Brittany, because obviously your character hides a lot of layers that slowly get peeled back behind those twists and turns. So, like, how was your approach in gradually revealing and expressing those emotional layers throughout the film?
It was a collaborative effort. The emotional layers being peeled was a result to the prep we all did together, the lore that we discussed, the world that we also created with each department on the film. I mean, so it was very easy. And it took a lot of focus, and investment. And it feels so satisfying now to have people see it and actually like catch on, because I just wanted to absorb everything that we all collaborated on and everything that we worked on. And I wanted Emily to be a vessel of that. So it's just so nice now that people are seeing it and they're like, oh, I get it. Oh, the cracker scene. Like, that's the most rewarding thing, I think. One of the most rewarding. But like, people are catching on, and like Krisha and I collaborated on how we were going to interact with each other in that scene. And that was one of my favorites. I mean, even, so yeah, the layers were just really satisfying, but it was absolutely a result of the collaborative, intentional, and attention to detail, everything that each creator on that project, in front of the camera, behind the camera, brought.
Yeah, and it's such an amazing performance. You and EJ both provided an incredible dynamic that came across really well. Even if he's behind the camera, you do still see that dynamic through the camera itself.
Powerful.
But it's powerful, yeah. So I wanted to wrap up here. So, like, thank you everyone so much for taking the time to speak with me. It was such a pleasure to revisit this film a year later. And everyone at home should definitely check out In Our Blood, hitting theaters on October 24th. So,
thank you, Costa.
thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Much.
Thank you so much.